There we go. We're recording.
Cool. Oh, can you make sure everyone's muted first?
Yeah, I'm doing that right now.
Okay. So today's topic, since everyone is killing it with loyal customers, which is awesome, like you guys are seriously like blowing it out of the water. Like if you guys are enrolling customers, like you need to be so proud of yourself because you're killing it and don't slow down. Like this is promotion time, like just do it. So it's amazing. So you guys all know how to enroll customers, so that's step one. Okay, so the next step to being successful in this business, getting the income, actually making an income, monthly income, residual income, is also growing your team, which basically just means signing distributors, which is what all of you guys are. We're all distributors. So the first thing about growing your team and distributors is, I feel like if someone would have told me this in the beginning when I started, it would have made my life a lot easier. Get used to people not joining your team. 150%. Okay. Get used to hearing the word no. Get used to hearing the word it's a pyramid scheme. Getting used to people hearing that it's a scam. Get used to all these things, because the sooner you get comfortable with it, the sooner you're just not going to care at all. 100%. Okay. And get used to it just taking time. Okay. It is so easy to sign customers literally 30 minutes after you talk to them. That's normal. Signing up distributors the first time you talk to them is not normal. And it happens very, very slim. I think in my 3 years, maybe two have signed up the first time I've talked to them. Okay. And I tell my team this all the time. You have to think about you. I want you guys to write this in the chat. How many times or how long did you wait to sign up with the person that you signed up with? Like, how many times did that person have to talk to you? And I just went on my thing. Let me see when it was. I'm just going to use this as an example. Hold on. I went to my old messages. Sherry, I started talking to her in January 2017. She just joined like 12 days ago. Caitlin, I started talking to her March 24th. Chrissy, May 17th. So all of you guys that are even on this Zoom took months and sometimes years, and that's okay. And I want you guys, because I think, again, like this is the most important thing, like it just takes time. It just takes time. If you're not signing distributors, it doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It doesn't mean that you don't have the magic message that everyone's sending. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means that you need more time. Okay, with that being said, it is possible for everyone to sign up team members right away. But again, the trick is, it's just like with loyal customers. The more people you talk to, the greater chance that you have to sign people. So when you're talking to people especially on social media about this business, they're very, very quick to judge. They're very quick to say no thanks, and it's just because they just aren't educated. They just don't know. So what your job is to give them a show. And I tell y'all this all the time. I have people coming to me literally every single day, coming to me, and the first sentence in their message is, I've been seeing your post, I've been watching your post, I saw your post. Literally to the T. Every single time. If you guys want, I can send you like 50 screenshots. It happens every time. And that's why, because the first thing that they do when you message them is they go look at your profile. If it's, oh no, is your dog, oh, I was like, I didn't see that. The first thing that they do is they're going to go look at your profile and see what you're about. Okay. And then they're going to start reading your posts, things like that. They might be interested, things like that. Cool. But again, they're not going to sign up right away. Why? Because they want to watch you to see if you quit. And so many people do. You know what I mean? So, and that's okay. And they just want to make sure that they're not going to sign up with someone that's going to quit. Like, think about it. If I messaged you asking you to be a part of this business and you said no, and that no would have again turned me to stop posting, to stop messaging people, to basically stop working my business. And then you come back to my page when you get your check because you changed your mind, but you just didn't tell me. I didn't know. And you saw that I wasn't posting anymore. You probably would think that I wasn't working my business anymore. So you're going to go sign up with someone who is working their business so that they can help you. So you have to be really mindful of just your social media account and remember that it is basically like your application to ask them to join. Like they're not going to join you if you're not serious at all. So that's step one, is always be consistent, like always, because people are watching. Literally, I think there was one day that I didn't post and I got like so many messages asking me if I was still doing it works. I was like, yes. I just haven't gotten time to post yet. It was when I was driving. I literally was driving all day, but it was crazy the amount of people that noticed. It was crazy. So that's step one. And you always have to be mindful of that. It's just so important. So how I grow my team is I message on Instagram. That is where 90% of my team members come from, is on Instagram. So basically what I do, it's super, super simple. I can walk you guys through it. I go down, I do the same thing like I would on Facebook. I message all of my followers and I just say, if you guys want my scripts, I can type them to you. So I say, hey girl, question. I say, hey girl, question to about 175 million people. And about maybe 20% message me back and say, what? Or what's your question? Hey girl, what can I help you with? And then do you guys want my scripts? I can send them to you. Chat. And then when they say what, I say this. Basically the first thing that I do is I make sure I go to their profile. I like a couple of their pictures to make sure that they know that I actually went to their profile and I check them out. I give them a compliment. I just talk to them a little bit. And then I just say, I just open the door. Could you use an extra income? And they either say yes or no. Most people say yes and they want to know more. And then that's when I will ask for their phone number. And then I will start the conversation on texting. And on texting, if you have an iPhone, you can voice chat just like you could in Facebook Messenger. And that's literally what I do. So the first thing that they ask me when I'm texting them is, I say, hey girl, it's Jamie from Instagram. How are you? She says, good, awesome. And I say, great. Like, I'm so excited to talk to you. So tell me a little bit more about you and why you are interested in an extra income, because I want to know why they're interested. Why? Because when they tell me that they can't afford the $99, that's when I'm going to bring that up. If you tell me, oh, I'm interested in an extra income so I can stay at home with my babies and so that I can focus more on school and have time for school without having a 9-to-5 job. And then later on in the conversation, because I know that they're going to say that they can't afford the 99 because everyone does, that's when I say, well, how important is it for you to stay home with your kid and, go to school and not have to have a 9-to-5? And then that's when that light bulb goes off in their head and they're like, oh, that would be worth $99. Like, when people don't join you because of the $99, it's not you, it's not the business. They don't see the value. They don't see the value in that, spending that $99, because they don't think they're going to get anything out of that. And that's your job to make sure that they feel that they are, because they are. So I asked them why they want to do this, whatever. And then I do every single thing voice chat. Oh my God, that's so amazing. I have a daughter too. I've been staying home with her since she was 3 months old. Like, it means the world to me that I got to, experience her first walking, her first holding the bottle, all of those things. And, it's just completely changed my life. So, I love this. I think this is a great option for you. So are you familiar at all with what I do? So I voice chatted them all that. They can hear my excitement. They can hear that I'm a real human being. I'm not a robot. And 3, I am relating to them in some way, shape, or form. And you have to find some way to relate to these people. Not everyone's going to be a mom like you. Not everyone's going to be a college student like you. Not everyone's going to just want to do this on the side. And that's okay. But you have to find a way to relate to every single person. So like Chrissy's not a mom. She's a college student. I had to relate to her in some way, shape, or form. Like, you know, it was okay, yeah, like, you know, I wanted to put gas in my car too. Like I remember, you know, when Dakota was a newborn, I couldn't even take her to the doctors because it was over an hour away and I didn't even have gas money for that. And Chrissy like called on to that, and it was a connection between us. So you can literally, everyone buys gas, y'all. Everyone needs food. Most people need diapers. Most people need toilet paper. Like you can relate to somebody, like it doesn't matter their situation. So you always want to relate to them. So then when they say, most of the time they'll say, I have no idea what you do, or I know you sell products, blah, 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 whatever they think that they, you know, what I do. And then let me send it to you guys so you guys have it. And then I tell them what I do. One sec. And you guys can copy and paste these scripts into the notes section in your phone so you have them. All right. It's kind of long, but that's what I say. They read it. And most of the time they say, oh my gosh, that's so simple. Like I already do that already. And then again, voice chatting is always best. I voice chat him and I say, girl, I know, right? Like how many times do you like scroll on Facebook on your phone? Like it's crazy. Like so many people do what I do and they just don't get paid for it. It's crazy. And I just talk to them just like this. Like I'm a human being, real person. And then I say, and this is the good part. This is the part that really changed for me from enrolling one person a month to at least 7 people a month, every single month. Anyone could say they need extra money, right? Okay, I need extra money. Cool beans. But when you put a number to that, like if I tell them, or if I ask them, basically what I say is, awesome. So I want to know what an extra $500 to $800 a month would do for you. What would that do for your family? What would that change for you? What stresses would that take off of you? How could that change your life? And I say all these things like I'm talking to them like I would talk to them face to face. And the reason why I give them a number, I didn't used to, and what I found is when you give them a number to attach it with, they start connecting the dots to all of the things that they could do with that. Yeah, you could say extra money, but when you say $500 a month, they're like, oh, that's my car payment, that's the electric bill, and then that's groceries. And then they're like, then their mind is like blown. They're like, oh my gosh, I could do so much with this. Or, oh my gosh, that's Christmas. Or, you know what I mean? That's like my whole credit card debt that I've been trying to pay off for 2 years. Oh my gosh, that's my car insurance. That's my rent. Like, do you guys get where I'm going with this? Like, they get so much more excited and they're just so much more interested when they can connect what they need to a certain number. So I always ask, what would an extra $500 to $800 a month do for you? And then they tell me. And then again, I voice chat them. I relate to them. Oh my gosh, I was hiding my car at my friend's house because I couldn't pay my car payment. Whatever. Oh my gosh, I know, like my rent just went up and I'm so thankful. Like whatever it is that they say, like, yes, I remember going to the store and having to buy the smallest pack of diapers because I just couldn't afford them. And now I can buy the big old box and it just feels so good. Like this is going to be great for you. And again, you relate to them. And then this is another thing that I've been changing. So once you relate to them, I say, I just think this is amazing for you. I think this is going to be great, but I want you to hear my friend's story. And when you hear her story, I think you're going to relate to her so much. And I think it's just going to open up your mind to seeing all the possibilities that you have with this business. And then what I do, what you guys all have, is all of us diamonds and above. I didn't make mine yet because I'm lazy. Don't tell. But all of us diamonds and above, we created a call. So basically what it is, it's a list of links that you can click and copy to your potential distributors, and it's all of our stories. So if you're talking to a college student, you can go onto the team page. It's under, all right, listen, it's, you go to the team page. Kristen, can you type this out, like the steps? Team page, then you click files, and then you click the link Success Call Library. You click on that, and you're going to see all of these calls, and it's going to say Hope Weston, married, college student, dropout, whatever. Sarah Neerman, busy grad student, single mom of two, or whatever the key points to their story. So like Chrissy's a college student. So I'm going to go to the call library, and I'm going to see Cheyenne Knox, college student, full-time college student, busy. And I'm like, that's Chrissy. I'm going to copy that link. I'm going to send it to Chrissy, so Chrissy has someone to relate to. Okay, Kristen, she's a mom. She's a stay-at-home mom. So I'm going to go to Jamie Connigan's link because she's a stay-at-home mom, and I'm going to click it to her. And basically these links are going to show them that, okay, if I'm not like you, there's other people like you, and it's going to make them feel better, and it's going to get them, again, so much more excited because that person is doing what they want to do and are at where they used to be. Does that make sense? So like when they hear these stories, their mind is like 150% blown because like they can just relate to them so much, and like with all the accomplishments, like they're diamonds and above, so they make a full-time income with this. So then they start thinking more than just $500 a month, and that's what you want from your distributor. You don't want a distributor that just wants to do the bare minimum. You want them to go all the way because they can. So that's what I do, and then they always come back and message me. They're like, oh my gosh, she's incredible. Like, this is amazing. I can relate to her so much. I can't believe she's this young and did this, whatever they say. And then I say, I know. I voice chat them again. And again, it's just a dialogue. I know. Like, it's amazing. Like, this is why I wanted you to hear this story, because I think you can relate so well. Like, this is what you have in your hands. This is what you have in the palm of your hands. You just have to take it. And I literally say that to them. And then what I say is, what questions do you have? And then I open it up for questions. And then they ask me questions. Sometimes it just depends. Sometimes they'll ask me, how much time do I spend doing this? Sometimes they'll ask me how to get started, or if there's a fee. Sometimes they ask me if there is like what is it called, a limit that you have to sell every single month. Like, they just ask me a whole bunch of different questions, and I address all the questions. And then if they didn't like ask, if one of the questions wasn't like about the business builder kit, because Chrissy said someone had a question. Let me read it before I start talking. How do you persuade people to join the 99, and how do you find more people to reach out to? I definitely waited for a while. Yeah. And Taylor, you were probably watching Chrissy like a hawk, right? Waiting for her to stop. But if they don't bring up the like starting kit or whatever, that's when I bring it up and I make it really cool. I say, it's $99 to get started. You're going to get your business builders kit and your websites all included. Your business builders kit comes with all your marketing materials and $150 of free product that you can use or you can sell back to make your money back and make a profit. Duh. Who doesn't want that? And then I just basically, I say that, and then I'm like, this is, oh, and then I tell them what they qualify for. So like this month, I would say you're also qualified for the $150 shopping spree and the $1,000 Ruby bonus. There's no better time to get started. Let's do this. And I assume that they're ready. I assume they're ready. If you don't assume that they're ready and you kind of like are scared to ask them if they're ready, they're not going to be ready. And not everyone, obviously, like almost all of them are like, no, not yet, or I have to wait till this day. They give you a date, which is fine. But you always want to assume, because you will catch those people that are like, okay, yeah, like let's do it. You know what I mean? So that's basically about the conversation. How do you persuade people to spend the 99? You don't. You can't persuade people. You can't make people join. You can't make people see the value in this. That's on them, and it just is what it is. I don't beg people to join my team. I used to in the beginning because, just because I wanted to make such an income with this. And I found when you beg people to join, you're going to beg them to work. And it's such a waste of time. You don't want to beg people to work on your team. And what I found is when someone joins and they're actually ready, like they're ready, like Kristen was ready, Chrissy was ready. These girls were ready to actually do something. If I would have like made them join, then they probably wouldn't have done anything. They probably wouldn't even be on the Zoom. You know what I mean? You're never going to make people work. That's the number one thing. If they don't care enough about their why, and again, that's why I asked them, why do you want an extra income? Why? For what? Why? Because that, again, if they're like, oh, I just want to buy my school lunch, I'm like, well, you're probably not going to do much. You know what I mean? But if you're like, I want to stay home with my kids, I want to quit my job, you probably have a chance of doing something because you have a strong reason. If they don't have a strong enough reason, then they won't do anything. And sometimes you guys have to, again, this is something I didn't learn in the beginning. People are going to quit your team all the time. 100%. They're going to quit because they don't care enough about their why. And some of them are moms, some of them are college students, some of them have really strong whys, but they just end up not caring. And it's really hard because you care more about their why than they do. And that's when you have to just take all the emotion out of it and just remember your why. And again, I cannot make you want to stay home with your kids more than you do. I cannot want it for you. I stay at home with my kid. I sleep at night. You know what I mean? And those are going to be the type of people that are going to work in the business and that are going to stick around. You know what I mean? So you're never going to persuade people to spend the $99. The only thing that you can do to help persuade them is showing them what you got out of that $99, that you're staying home with your kid every day by posting about it, by taking them to the park on a Tuesday at 11 o'clock in the morning when they are at work. That is literally what got me to Diamond. Is I was showing people my life. I was showing people what they wanted. If a potential distributor told me that they couldn't join the business because, let's just say, because they had to pay for gas this week, you bet your butt I was over at that gas station pumping my gas, taking a selfie, saying 2 months of pay for my gas thanks to my business. Holla. And you bet your butt that she saw that. She saw it and she liked it. And that's what keeps people interested. And that's what keeps people watching you. If someone tells you that they think that they don't have time for this business, show them how you're literally putting your kid in the bathtub, making dinner, enrolling a loyal customer, and talking to your team all at the same time. Because they're going to watch that post every single time. It's crazy. And then they always message you back when they've been ignoring you for 10 years. So if you're getting people that are telling you like certain reasons why they can't or whatever, use that as a post. Call them out. I do it all the time. And it's crazy. And like I did one the other day, like you're telling me that you want to do something, but you're not willing to do the work that it takes to get there. Like this girl, it was the same thing. She wanted to come home to her kids, but she's sitting on her couch. She's being a couch potato doing nothing. She's doing nothing about it. Why aren't you doing anything about it? I'm not going to do it for you. You know what I mean? So you guys can use those as posts, and post when messaging. You can message, but posting is sealing the deal 100%, because you can message them all of these script messages for follow-ups and all that stuff. But the second that they see a post that hits home to them, that's going to be the second that they find that value in that $99, and they're going to want to join you. When I got started, there was this one post that I did, and it was a picture of toilet paper, laundry, soap, and something else. And I literally like just went for it, and I was so embarrassed to post this, but I did it anyway. And I told people how I was so embarrassed that I could not, for the longest time, afford toilet paper. I could not afford to wash my clothes for the longest time. And I did not think anything of it. Like, I just kind of thought it was going to be another life post. And I kid you not, 4 people joined my team from that post. And they specifically said it's because of that post. So I wasn't talking about my big fancy house that I have. I wasn't talking about the $1 million that I have. I was literally talking about buying toilet paper. You have to think small with your posts. Don't think that you have to be making all this money for people to join you. When I started, I would literally hold up a gallon of milk and say, my business just paid for this. And I remember when I didn't have this in my life. Like, I would talk about the little things, talk about paying your phone bill, talk about putting gas in your car, talk about all these things that people want. What did you want? What did you like seeing from Chrissy's post? What did you like seeing from Kristen's post that made you join? What did you like seeing from my post that made you join? Think about that and then post those things. And like I said, messaging and posting, they're best friends. They go hand in hand. You have to be consistent at doing both. And really just signing up distributors is just consistency, time, and effort. That's all it is. If you just focus on those 3 things with trying to sign distributors and try to grow your team, like, you're going to do it nonstop. And especially with distributors, it's kind of like a trial and error type thing. You're going to do so many things wrong talking to people. You're going to do so many things wrong training people. But the more you do it, the more it's going to come natural. Like, I've had hundreds and hundreds of conversations, and I finally have a conversation that just works for me, and that I can be myself, that I don't have to script all this stuff, that I can, do all these things. So get in the habit of talking to people more, and then you're just gonna get better and better and better and better and better. What else was I gonna say? Oh, and sharing your story all the time, sharing your struggles. People cannot relate to success. They can relate to struggle. Always. So if you have something in your life or past life that you don't feel comfortable sharing, or you're embarrassed, I encourage you to be brave and share it, because you're going to get so many people, even if they don't join your team, you're going to get so many people that their life is going to change from that post. I get so many people when I share that I was on drugs for 5 years and I overcame it without rehab and all that stuff. I get so many messages about it. When I share that we lost our house and I was homeless and I had to shower at the gyms because that was the only free water we had, so many people can relate to it. You're going to have people that you didn't even think, because social media is such a highlight reel. People don't talk about their own crap. They want to see other people's crap. But then when they see you and that they're going through the exact same thing, they're going to be watching you. You're going to be on their mind. So always, like, it's hard at first. It's embarrassing, definitely embarrassing, but it's going to help so many people. And it's obviously going to help you to grow your team and just have really good people that really know the life of struggle. Because when you know the life of struggle, you're willing to do whatever it takes to get out of that. And that's just the bottom line. Okay. So that's basically it. You just want to, the more conversations you have, you guys, the more posts that you have that are heartfelt, the more chances you have that are going to sign someone. Go, Caitlin. So with all that being said, who has questions? We're going to do this again because we don't have much time left, but anyone have questions about growing your team, signing up distributors, anything? Anything? Team page. Anyone? No? Did I cover everything? That never happens. That short amount of time. I feel rushed. I hate being rushed. It's fine. How much more time? 5 minutes? Okay. So I want you guys, like, tonight to just really think about what your story is. once you figure out your story, you're going to feel confident in sharing it with people. Again, it's not a final thing. It's always going to be changing, always. So, like, just figure out your story, figure out where you've been, what struggles you've had, where you are now, what struggles you have now, what you're doing to overcome those struggles, and where you want to go. Talk about where you want to go. What do you want? So, my name is Jamie Connigan. I'm from a poopy small town in Southern Maryland. I'm 26. Like, I was a drug addict for over 4 years. I was in horrible relationships that became abusive all the time. I finally got out of that. I got pregnant, and her dad and me both struggle with drugs, and all of that kind of stuff. I had my daughter. I became a single mom. I ended up losing our house to where we were homeless and showering at the World Gyms, things like that. We ended up having her, and I just knew that I didn't want to leave my baby for 8 hours a day, and I knew I was going to do whatever it took to find something that I just didn't have to leave her. I found this business, just fell into my lap, God placed this in front of me at just the right time when I needed it, when I needed to learn about myself, when I needed to be a better mom, when I needed to just find something that I could focus on and be good at versus being a party girl like I was. And I just joined this business out on a whim. I had no idea. I just knew what I wanted. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I did it. And within 6 months, I replaced my full-time income that I was making at the doctor's office, working 70 hours a week from my damn phone with my kid on my lap. And with everyone else telling me I couldn't do it, I did it. And for all of you people out there that think you can't do this or want something like this, drop a comment below and I will send you information. That's my story. And that's literally what you say. And that's everyone's story is going to be different. People are going to relate to you differently than they do with me, and that's okay. I never really told my story like that fast before. I think I left some stuff out, but you get the gist. Like, just talk about your struggles, do it. And then, like, people are going to be talking to you about theirs. And, like, it's just going to be so amazing what happens when you just share it. And it's just good. It's just so good. Okay. So I think that's pretty much it, you guys. That's really all I do. I just talk to a lot of people. I just put myself out there with my posts, and I just stay really, really consistent, and I'm always sharing about my team. So if you guys are on and you're trying to grow your team, take a picture of all these people on and say that you're on a training with someone who makes full-time income with the business, who earned over $22,000 in bonuses. When people see that, they're going to be like, do what? Like, put a little like arrow to my face and say, Jamie Connigan. Jamie's our diamond leader. She makes over $2,000 a month from her phone while being a stay-at-home mom. She quit her job. Like, you guys can say any of these things. You can talk about all the friendships. You can talk about Kristen just going Ruby. You can talk about Chrissy who's going Ruby in like a couple hours. You can talk about all these people. Show people that you're not the only weird one in this business, because that's another thing. People think when you're talking to them, they're like, this girl is like wacko. She's like the only one doing this. But when you constantly are sharing your team trainings on your stories and your page and stuff, they're like, oh my gosh, look at all the people that are actually doing this with her. Like, it has to be something real. It has to be something that I want to do if all these people are doing it. You know what I mean? Okay, so I think that's basically it, you guys. It's super simple. You just have to be consistent, and you just have to do it, and you just have to want it. You have to want to grow your team and be excited for all these people that are getting on, even if someone tells you no. And you guys have to think about it. If I would have said no, if I didn't have joined this business, Kristen wouldn't have, Chrissy wouldn't have, and if Chrissy wouldn't have, who's the one that's on Chrissy's team? Michaela wouldn't have. Like, do you see the domino effect? Just because one person says yes, so many other people say yes. It doesn't even matter of the people that say no. You're going to have people tell you no all the time. But when you find that one person that says yes, they literally will change hundreds of lives. And it's all because of you, because you said yes, and because you didn't stop when that one person said no. Don't let one person say no stop you, because that one person literally is going to come back 2 years later begging you to join your team. It happens to me all the time. They're either going to beg you to join your team, or they're going to ask